Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Farmstead, or, well, satellite Farmstead, we'll call our kitchen here in town. We're countdown's on. We're probably about a month or so from moving up to the farm full time, so that's pretty exciting. Today's video, I'm just going to show everybody real quick a way that we have learned how to preserve eggs. Slacker season is officially over at the Farmstead. Yay. Our little baby butt nugget makers, they're still probably about a month to 2 months out from starting to lay their own eggs, but the girls in the backyard here have finally got over their winter slump and are starting to provide us with a nice plethora of eggs, way more than our family is able to consume in a reasonable amount of time. So we have learned through the magical world of the internet how to preserve eggs. This jar here, yes, it's cloudy. It's from last year's set of eggs that it was almost a year since we had preserved them. A good 8 to 10 months for certain that we were able to have fresh eggs. So it was really fantastic, and it's really quite simple. So let's show you how that all goes together. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the importance of egg selection. And I just realized we got a cracked one in there. That'll be tomorrow morning's breakfast. The important thing is that you need to have clean eggs, and I mean clean. So even ones that, this is my bin from the fridge, ones that didn't make the cut, so to speak. Even one that's just, even just a little thing on it like that, I say is a no-go. We get enough eggs that we can be very picky on what we get and what we preserve, but you want them to be clean. Here, this one here has just a couple, I don't know if the camera will pick it up here, just a couple like light scratch marks, probably when whoever laid this climbed off the nest, they hit it with their claws or whatever. Things dimpling, like this one here. It has a little mark there, little dimple. Any kind of blemish or oddity, it doesn't make the cut. These ones here, they had some dirt on them. They had some mud on their feet or whatever when they climbed into lay. Those ones aren't good enough to be preserved. I'm looking for, I had one, there you go. Well, we can use this one here. You'll see sometimes some eggs that have this little nub on it. All that is like an extra calcium deposit. It's not harmful to the chicken or for human consumption or something, but that's something we want to avoid when it comes to water glassing. So the eggs that I've already put in here, you can see they are all very clean. And grab one here. Super clean, pristine. If you can't just wipe it off just gently with your fingers, it doesn't make the cut. So when you go to put your eggs down into whatever vessel you're using, we found that this size works really well. We didn't have any problems with cracking or eggs on the bottom getting crushed. But you want to put them down in there with the pointy side down. And what that does is that allows the egg to the air pocket that's in there for the developing baby chick. If it were a fertilized egg, that air pocket, it rises to the top. So you want to put it pointy side down. And as best as you can, I just kind of pyramid stack them in there. You can see down on the side here, I should have given you guys a nice clean glass to get started from. But like I said, this was one from last year that I just kind of rinsed out. All it has is the preserving solution in there, and it is one that'll kind of etch the glass over time. So, all right, so let's get talking about the solution. Okay, so next thing we need to do now that we have our eggs in here, and I can add more eggs to this vessel over the next, probably take less than a week to fill this up the rest of the way. But what I need to do is mix up my solution so that it'll submerge these eggs completely, and then I can add eggs, and then I'll just bring the water level up to make sure that all of the eggs are completely submerged in the solution. What is the solution I keep talking about? It's quite simple, actually. It is distilled water and hydrated lime. You'll also hear it referred to as pickling lime. Pickling lime, they are the same. There are varying types of lime, and the ones that are safe to use, I know for a fact, are the pickling lime and hydrated lime. Yes, there are others out there. Please, feel free to comment below if you know what the no-no lime types of lime are. Pickling lime is one that you use, as the name entails, for when you're doing your pickling. Hydrated lime you can buy in a much bigger quantity at a much better price. We got a 50-pound bag from our local feed store. Gosh, it's been a couple years now, and I can't even remember the dollar amount, but it was significant. It was a significant saving. So we're just working off that. That lime's going to last us a good long time. But anyways, the ratio that you want is 1 ounce of lime to 1 quart of water. So I have a gallon of distilled water here. I've read that you don't need to use distilled water, but in my mind, it helps take some extra, gave an extra level of precaution, I guess. Takes the extra elements out of it, just really simplifies that water down to its most basic level. So obviously this is a very full jug, so getting 4 ounces, and that is by weight, so we use our kitchen scale here. Getting 4 ounces of powder into a jug that is filled to the brim here is not going to be the easiest of tasks. So what I have done is, first I'm going to whack a cat off of the counter. Oh, Corey, get out of here. Nobody needs to see your butt in the video. Scoot. Get. Anyways, where were we? I cleaned out a empty milk jug that we had, just cleaned it out really good with soap and hot water. So it doesn't have any smell or residue of milk in it. And I'm going to, using gloves, because lime is, or can be considered, a caustic material. So I have back here in the sink, I've already measured out 4 ounces of lime. But what I want to do, my jug open here, I'm gonna put about half of the water in the milk jug here, put 2 ounces of lime in each, therefore the 4 ounces, and I marked a little cheat sheet on the side of my jug here so I know how much lime goes in. And then I will shake them both up and then combine them as best as I can into the one jug. And then obviously it's going to take probably, I'd say probably close to half of this jug to get this vessel filled to cover those eggs. So let's get a small should have had that ready. Turn our scale on here. Make sure we tear it out. A little bit more. There. All right. 2 ounces of lime. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take, I have a little funnel in the top of my milk jug, and I'm probably going to need my spoon again. So now we're just going to spoon that 2 ounces of lime down into the milk jug. Now, sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, but it will all get down in there. Sometimes I've found if you use a toothpick, it can help. It's just a clump gets stuck down in there and bottlenecks everything. All right, so let's get the rest of the lime in there. Okay, so now that we got that 2 ounces of lime into our milk jug, I want to keep my measurements as close to accurate as possible. So I need to scoot this out of the way. I need to measure out half of our distilled water to put into our other, oh, I already took the band off, into the other milk jug here. All right, last 2 cups of water here, and we will have half. Okay, so now I just need to grab my lid that got away from me. Put it on there. On there good and tight, and we're just going to give it a good old shake. Now, lime does not fully dissolve in water. So right now, you might be able to kind of see through the jug here, and you'll definitely see it when we pour it out here. It has kind of a milky white substance for a look to it. After a couple of days, you'll actually see a lot of the lime settle at the bottom of this vessel, and you'll see it on top of the eggs. You kind of look like a snow white cap. It's actually kind of pretty. That's why I like doing it in the glass jars. I get to look at them. But the lime is still within the water. The qualities of the lime is there, even though a lot of the lime has settled to the bottom of the jar, and the excess that I have, it'll settle to the bottom of the jug as well. So then we just very carefully, I'm just pouring it in very gently onto the eggs so that they don't, I mean, they're strong little things, but you still don't want to bombard them so they crack or break. I just saw a little floaty there, so I must have had something got into my mixture. So we'll see if it floats up to the top or not. Should be all right though. But as you can see, all the eggs are completely submerged. All down there, and yeah, you can kind of see already the separation happening with the lime in the water there. That's water glassing. It's a very old time process, but it works fantastic. Now, when we go to use the eggs, and if you try this yourself, so you're not surprised, the eggs themselves, they change consistency. That's the best way I can think of to put it. So if you're looking to use a water glassed egg for a fried egg sandwich or a sunny side up egg, it's not going to happen. These eggs work best for your baking or scrambling, those type of applications, because the yolk, and you have to forgive me, I'm still learning the anatomy of an egg, but the membrane or whatnot that holds the yolk together intact does break down over time. It's not a health issue or anything, but when you open up the eggs, and I'll show that in a video when the time comes that we get into these glassed eggs and are using them for our meals. The white of the yolk is very runny, and the yolk most of the time just falls apart. Some of the girls, bless their hearts, they manage to manufacture, I like to put it, eggs that do hold up. The yolk does stay intact after being water glass, so it's impressive, but don't count on it. So that pretty much wraps this up. I'm going to get the other 2 ounces of lime into my other jug here and get that ready for the next batch of eggs that I'll be adding to here and creating a secondary vessel. What I like to do, just on a little side note, is on top of the lid, you can kind of see a little bit of a halo residue from last year. I just take a dry erase marker and put on there the dates of the eggs. So these ones I started collecting just a couple weeks ago. So I'll put on the lid here mid-April to probably going to be the end of April. I imagine I'm going to fill this up within the next week. So this will be labeled as April eggs. So then that way, when the winter comes around and we get into them, we can kind of use them in a rotational fashion, use the oldest ones first. So have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment below. Look forward to any feedback. Please keep it positive. We are all learning together. And thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon on the farm. Take care.